have seen this movie twice now. I saw it for the first time almost a year ago at the Toronto Film Festival, but
Right.
something has stuck with me ever since. And watching it again the other night confirmed to me that this movie has the best score of any movie this year. So
Ah,
shout out to Mr. Christopher Willis for
that's
such
right.
an
Yeah.
incredibly uplifting score.
Yeah.
The least we need right now, is something depressing, and I truly believe that this movie is the perfect antidote for what we're collectively going through right now. You're
An,
welcome to add anything about the score if you want to.
an antidote, like a vaccine.
Yeah,
So if everyone goes and sees this film,
Yeah.
we're through. Yeah,
hopefully.
I'll pass that on to Chris Willis. He's an amazing. I met him. He did some of the music for Veep, which is when I first met him. And he's a sort of classically trained composer, and he just immerses himself in the period. And we talk about various. I send him some samples of classical pieces that I like, that I think as sort of demos and temp. But he's able. What I like is that he comes up with music that doesn't feel like it's cinema music. It feels like it's music for the story rather than scored for a film. It's scored for the people that you're watching, which is what I like.
Yeah. Armando, Dickens would describe this almost autobiographical story as a very complicated weaving of truth and invention. Would you say that this is also true of most filmmaking?
Yes. Wow. There you go. Well, yes, because, for example, people ask me, when it came out in the UK, there was a little bit of stuff, not much, from journalists saying, why have you cast it with this sort of diverse cast? If you want to get the accuracy of 1840s Victorian period, shouldn't it be a certain? And I said, yes, but it's a film, and all films are a combination of telling the truth, but also artifice. When you walk into a room, a piece of music doesn't accompany you in time to how you open the door. When you walk into a room, you don't cut from people to people as you're looking around you. But we've accepted all these bits of artifice in the movie, in movies and in dramas and so on. I feel people still think of film as being something very, very literal. And it isn't. It's more powerful than that. It's much more imaginative, and it's much more fluid.
This was Dickens' favorite novel, and it is one of those titles that are just as beloved as, let's say, a popular comic book issue by a comic book fan. And I often like to ask those involved in an adaptation, how worried are you about being truthful to the source? Do you anticipate reactions? I'd love to hear Mr. Laurie's opinion and Dev's as well.
Mm-hmm. Hugh, do you want to go first?
I suppose honestly, I'm not that worried, because of course, there will be a small number of people who will probably have the novel open on their lap while the movie's playing, and they'll be actually like classical music fans who will have the score as they sit there. I think that's a very small number. I think what's much more important is people who want to see the spirit of the novel properly captured and expressed, even if it were done however it is done. And there's been other versions of this story before, and there will probably be other ones after us. But I hope that people will take it on its own terms and accept that there is a respect for the story, but also a belief in the power of the story that means that certain liberties have to be taken, certain compromises have to be accepted, just to capture the spirit of the thing. That's what I hope. But I don't know. I could be proven horribly wrong.
What about for you, Dev?
Yeah, I think we all strive to try and capture the essence of all of these characters. But at the same time, Armando gave us the opportunity to kind of bring our own truths to each of these roles, and that was, what's particularly interesting for someone like me is you kind of get to bring some of yourself to it as well. I can certainly relate to David's kind of anxiety and kind of imposter syndrome and all of the stuff that he went through in a totally different time period than me, but it all feels still so relevant today and to someone like myself. So yeah, you just endeavor to do your best, I guess.
Thank you all so much. Fantastic movie. Thank you for your time. I have to go before I get kicked out of here. Thank you.
Thank you, Orlando.
Bye.
Whether I turn out to be the hero of my own story, or whether that station will be held by anybody else, these moments must show.
My boyhood days seem now like a scarcely believable fiction.
London is full of wonders and wickedness. And it's ours, David, to go wherever we choose. Well, I'm not down there. Creditors make that road impossible. 2 tailors and a most unreasonable muffin man. Copperfield!
Your mama is ill.
How old is she?
Very ill.
Very ill.
Very ill.
Very ill?
Dangerously ill.
She's dead.
We're very sorry.
I'm David Copperfield. I'm your nephew. You're the only family I have.
What do we do with him?
If I were you, I'd wash him.
Oh, donkeys! This is a donkey-free zone! Move it!
You're a remarkable woman. Very kind.
You had nothing, then you had something, and now you got nothing again. So stands to right you'll have something again.
You were staring. Is there something wrong with me?
No, I apologize for my rudeness.
Think nothing of it, sir.
He speaks very well.
It was actually me.
Hey, Romeo, do some work.
Good morning! Do you know what I want? A straight jacket, a husband?
Feels like a party.
Ha ha.
Kite time!
Kite time!
But this narrative is far more than mere fiction. It is, in fact, written memory. And you'll have quite the ride on the way.